Hey Thomas, I'm glad you were able to come in today. I know you've been here for 3 days now, and so you're still kind of getting your feet wet. But I will be your therapist while you're here, and so I wanted to knock out our first session and kind of get to know you a little bit better and a little bit about your journey in getting into treatment.
Um, well, thank you. Um, yeah, mm, I'm from Texas. I'm 27. Um, I am here for addiction and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Here for addiction and things like that, and you came straight from Texas.
hmm
Okay. All right. So tell me a little bit about what your addiction means to you, what that experience has been like.
Um, it's been long. I don't know. I was drinking a lot. I lost my job. I was living in Austin for 7.5 years, and then I moved back in with my parents after I lost my job. Um, and then I got a job in Texas, and then because of my drinking and everything, I lost that job. Like I quit, get the job, things would go better, and then I drink, and then from what I've heard, that's pretty common
Mm-hmm.
here. So that's why I'm here.
Okay. You kind of caught yourself in the cycle. Uh,
Yeah.
all right. And so you moved from your parents' house in Texas to Austin,
hmm
and then you gave that a go for a couple of years,
Yeah.
moved back in with your parents. And how long were you at your parents' house before you decided to come here?
Uh, I was in Fort Worth for about 9 months. I had actually just moved out of my parents, so I'd been on my own for like 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about 3 months.
Yeah.
All right, and now that you've made the decision to come here, I'm interested to know what the factors were leading up to that.
Honestly, my parents were like, "Look, we can help you out. Uh, we've kept you on this insurance plan for a little bit. We can pay your bills for 45 days and just see if you can get better." They heard good things about this place, and I figured, what the hell, why not?
Okay, all right, and so you were open to that as well.
Yeah, why not? I mean, there's no financial concern. I don't have anything going on. I'm just depressed.
Okay.
I lost my job, but I think I can get it back. Like I didn't. They don't know that I was drinking or
Okay.
anything, or I don't think they know. But I left on good terms. So yeah.
And what did you do for work?
I was a general manager for O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Okay, all right, nice. It seems like from your description that you really enjoyed that job.
It's a good job. I enjoy it. Yeah, it pays well. Hours are good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love spreadsheets. So really, I
Okay.
just do like anything involving a spreadsheet. That's the main reason why I'm there.
Okay.
Inventory, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so even if it's not, the I know you had listed on your intake form that you had interests in going back to school and doing some other things, but it sounds like this job was enough for you at the time, and maybe hoping that you can return back to that job when you're done.
Yeah, even if it's just to return back to it while I look for another job,
Okay,
which would make me feel pretty shitty, but
got it.
yeah.
And what are you hoping to get out of treatment?
Um, I don't know. I just like I feel like um, people expect more of me. I expect more of myself, and just want to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, what do I have to lose? I don't know what I expect to get out of treatment, but I'm willing to, you know, get whatever I can out of it.
Okay. Okay. And so, tell me a little bit about your substance use. I'm assuming that you've got some interest in stopping substance use, and I also want to revisit the depression. You mentioned that you feel like you might be depressed, but let's start with the substance use. Tell me, what were you using? How much? Again, I saw a little bit on your form, but not much.
I was using like I don't know. I was prescribed Adderall and Vyvanse. Um, and so that got a little out of control. Um, I'd stay up like all night, get all my spreadsheets done for work and everything, but like I just became very like living like a hermit, just sort of. That's what was happening. And then with that came the drinking, so I could come down and eventually go to sleep. So, I mean, I wasn't really like I was just alone. I wasn't hurting anyone other than I guess my family,
Okay.
and friends that I had. But yeah.
Do you feel like you were hurting yourself?
Yeah, because if I didn't really have much depression before that, then I'm definitely hurting my mind. I'm more depressed now.
Tell me about what your depression looks like.
Um, so thinking about the past, woulda, shoulda, couldas, things like that. Just staying focused on it, wanting to be in the future, just wanting to move on. So it's like wanting to move on, but feeling stuck, but like the woulda, shoulda, couldas like are almost constricting at times. So.
And how do you mean they are constricting? That's an interesting way to phrase that.
It just feels like it's just wrapped around me all the time, and I just want to take like a lightsaber, slice it off of me,
Okay.
just run.
A lightsaber.
Yeah,
Are you a Star Wars fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do a little force jump, just get the hell out of there.
Okay. And so you are describing your depression like being kind of consumed with the past, being consumed with the future, and not really staying in the present. And it almost sounds like that sensation of not being in the present, not being mindful with where you are.
Yeah, but that's not all the time. It's just when it comes on. It's not like I'm walking around like a doom and gloom all the time.
Okay. Okay. When does it tend to come on?
It's random. It just happens.
Okay. And
I can tell you when it doesn't come on.
Yeah.
When there's a dog around.
When there's a dog around?
Yeah.
Do you have a dog?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all wouldn't let me bring her here, but I get it. Like, I understand.
And actually, if you talk to Kelsey, we do have a application to bring your dog.
I like being mad at someone though.
Okay.
So like,
okay.
Just give me that
Fair
one.
enough. Yeah.
Okay.
I can have that. All right. So, and we'll revisit that too, I think. But so sort of random intervals of being caught up in the past, being caught up in the present, and I mean being caught up in the future, but not really in the present. Any memories or places in the past or the future in particular that come up a lot for you?
I mean it's everything. Well, I told you how old I am, so like I think about all the stuff. Stuff from growing up, like prepubescent to puberty to high school to, time in Austin, and then, yeah, that's the stuff from the past. Nothing too specific though.
Okay.
Just an assortment.
An assortment of memories. And do
Like
you?
not going to people's funerals,
Okay.
or not writing thank you notes to people, or and then there's other, the relationship stuff, family dynamics,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
I see.
yeah.
Okay, so not pleasant memories you're revisiting.
Some of them are, but that
Okay,
can make me more depressed.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Actually, that's where it normally, like a lot of them is like, oh shit.
Okay,
Like, yeah.
all right. And can you tell me a little bit about what those pleasant memories are?
Like, I mean, anything. Like, thinking about my godfather,
Mm-hmm.
like little memories that we had, and then being like, damn, I was too messed up to. Can I cuss?
Yeah, yeah.
I was too fucked up to go to his funeral,
Mm-hmm.
or not even that. It was like I didn't even want to go to his funeral,
Mm-hmm.
and I was fucked up when I made that decision. Or like Charlie Webster, someone else. So anyway, someone who my dad knew,
Mm-hmm.
like big family friend, sober. I had like 6 months sober and just didn't want to go to his funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ugh, makes me feel like a piece of shit.
Okay. Okay. And so you're feeling some guilt, maybe some shame around.
What's the difference between those anyway? There's a whole group on that, and I just,
Didn't catch it?
yeah.
Well, guilt can sometimes be productive, right? It can sometimes move us to making a change. While shame can kind of feel very heavy and debilitating. There's a phrase that I heard: guilt is I did something bad, shame is I am something bad. So that's sort of a simplified way you can look at it. But um,
It's definitely not Freud who said that.
so I think it it seems like you do have, in a way, a motivation to be here that is yours,
Mm-hmm.
um, which maybe is being fueled by some of these things, these regrets from the past.
Yeah. It just seems like a good jumping off place,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Like, just go in, do what you have to do, get what you can, or do what you can to get everything out of it, and just jump off.
Mm-hmm.
Or because I've seen it happen. Like with other people, they just go somewhere and they do whatever they do at those places, and then they stay wherever they are for 2 or 3 years, and then they might go somewhere else or whatever, and just adventure and all this stuff, and that sounds pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's appealing. I don't even remember what you asked, but yeah, jumping off place.
Jumping off place,
Yeah.
kind of figuring out where you want to go next.
Yeah.
And so something about that the
Drew
adventure
me. Yeah.
sounds appealing. Um, Something about staying in the present moment also
Mm-hmm.
sounds like it sounds appealing. And so those are two things we can definitely focus on our work together. Um, I think, looking at how we can be more mindful and maybe processing some of the things that visit you from the past and from the future. They might be telling you something about what your needs are now.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to um, look at the things that come up the most often, is there a theme involved at all that you've been able to identify? I know it contributes to your depression, but are there messages of maybe something that you had that you don't have anymore?
Independence.
Independence.
Um, um, Feeling autonomous in decision making. Um, Not feeling judged, like even if I'm judging myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, Seeking like adventure on my terms and all those sort of things. Like I just want what like life can offer, and like really take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in order to do that, like I can't be depressed. I can be, but if I'm depressed, like I want to have the tools.
Right. Right.
I don't want to eat a bullet for breakfast instead of something else.
Okay.
Not that I want to. Not that I want to. I'm
You know,
just
there's
saying. Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
standard follow-up question.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that gives us a lot to look at. We've got sort of I think, another platform, a jumping off place with some of the things you just said. And so, um, as we continue working together, I think it'll be important for us to look at how you can get that sense of independence, um, where maybe substance use has been kind of fulfilling a job that otherwise wasn't being filled, and you know where mindfulness can come into play too, and if there's anything to learn from these past and present memories, past and future memories. um, so I appreciate you coming in and doing this kind of quick session with me.